Good evening and welcome. It's the ILFL Soccer Night here on a Monday night with me, David Joseph. Good to have you here. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have two games for you this evening. And as always, we're going to start with the first division. Our first game is going to be the game between Town and SCTA. There's so much for us to talk about this evening, so we're going to get right on with showing you the footage of this game, the highlights of yesterday's game between Town and SCTA. Off we go. in the topsy-turvy world of Illtown land, they scored 3 and SCTA scored 5 goals. And you've heard me say it here week in, week out sometimes. I'd love to get somebody from Illtown in here to talk to me about the crazy world that they live in when they come to football. And we managed to get you here, Mohammed Kahar. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. How are you doing?
I'm good, sir. And I'm glad that you're here because I know we don't have a lot of time, but I'd love to talk to you. I want you to just tell everybody about Illtown and where does it go with you guys? I mean, one week you turn up and you're beating anybody, and the next week it's all gone pear-shaped. How does it work with you guys?
I mean, we had a few knockbacks with injuries and stuff like that. End of the day, I think we're trying to get those players back. We signed 2 players recently, a bit more senior as well in defence in the centre back. So we're just coming.
Has it made a difference? It's
made a slight difference. This is the second game they've played. So I mean, last game, what was it? I think it was no, it was in Lotus. Was it Lotus?
Yeah,
yes.
Won the game with Lotus.
Yeah, with Lotus. I mean, it was a difficult game, but we managed to come through it. Again, the injury prones, they're coming back now. Hopefully, we should start picking up some point. Yeah, I mean, we're a young team. Don't get me wrong. We're very young. Average players in the squad is around about 20. Youngest is about 18, 21, 22s. I'm probably one of the more senior members of the team. Obviously, the manager himself is quite young. He's around about 22 as well. We're learning the trade. We're learning the game. Okay. We're trying to train as much as we can, but because obviously a lot of people work and different times, it's hard to get everyone together to train as well.
So what were your expectations at the beginning of the season? When you guys sat down, you looked at it and you thought, right, brand new division, this is where we want to be.
I mean, again, the teams we were facing against when we saw the division, when we got promoted to the next division, obviously the 3rd division got taken out. We thought, I mean, there were going to be some tough games, so we need to up our game. So again, we bought some floodlights with our own money. Every player paid, contributed towards the floodlights, so we can get some training together. Again, training is not as good as we want it to be, but we're trying to move forward with those kind of things. It gets very dark a lot quicker. So getting money, I mean, being self-funded from our own pocket, the money comes in from our pocket.
So where do you see yourselves going from here on in now? I noticed that next week, let's look realistically, that's short term now. Next week you've got a game up against Stepney B.
Yep.
Stepney B, you know, all of a sudden they've turned the corner, turned things around. As we'll see from the results, got an impressive result yesterday.
Yep.
So 2 teams, a little bit of transition, moving forward. That's another tough game for you, but realistically, where do you see yourself going with that?
Well, we hope to win the Stepney B game. I think we beat them. That was the first game of the season, and we managed to beat them. I think 3-0 or 4-0. I can't remember, but it was around about that much. So again, that will be one of the teams where we try to come back from our defeat, 5-3 defeat with SCTA. SCTA is a brilliant team. They've got very strong players, you know, physical players. I mean, some of the players we played with them, they're very, very, very good. They terrorize us in defense most of the time. Again, it's going back to the training ground, working our arse off again, and just bringing back the injury guys back onto the team and just moving forward from there. I mean, Stepney B would be a great turnaround for us.
It would be a great platform for you.
Yeah,
and
it
for
would be a great
SCTA, Cameron, I mean, let's talk a little bit about you guys. I mean, it's been a slow start for them as well, but now is this the page being turned?
It's been a very, very slow start. You know, I think SCTA expected to be at the top fighting, the top 3 or 4. But I think over the last 2-3 weeks, they've sort of stabilized the ship a little bit. The players are now coming regularly. We've got a core of the spine players, and we've changed the system a little bit, so it's working for us. And now we're getting the goals. So
to concede, I mean, no disrespect to Illtown, but like I said, at the beginning of the season, SCTA would be looking to say, well, we're not going to concede 3 goals against a team like Illtown, but you are. So I have to obviously ask the question, Illtown must be improving in some respects to score goals. They've come up from a division against, you know, a good team like yourself and scored 3. I mean, but is there something
generally they are scoring goals, which is good. I mean, I think the captain is normally a defender, but he plays up front. He's got a good shot on him. I think that game, I played in goal myself, so you know, you can't really count me as a goalkeeper. So I've given 2 goals away, really. But I think generally they're doing well to score, and we've got a new goalkeeper as well, which helps. I mean, he's probably taller than I am, so it helps. Having a good goalkeeper behind the defenders gives the defenders confidence to play football and attack, really. So
Let's not take the first goal away that we saw in that footage. It was
Second
a
goal.
contender for
I mean,
goal of the
that
season.
was
Second goal of the
a
game, the
brilliant
first
goal
one we saw in foot.
Just to mention his name, Nazmul is the scorer. It was a fabulous goal, and he should get credit. Well
He's a good
done
player.
to Nazmul.
Well done.
Brilliant goal.
Could be goal of the season. We might be sharing that at the end of the season when we put together a little montage of the season's events. Let's look at the rest of the results that happened in the first division. Burdett beat Leytonstone by 4 goals to 2. Great win there for Burdett. Leytonstone still finding things tough in the division. You can't beat everybody. Iltown 3, SCTA 5 we've seen. Stepney B, as we mentioned, put in cracking 8 goals past Lotus. Best result of the weekend. Well done to you guys down there at Stepney. St Catherine's quietly getting on with business. They're beating Weavers by 5 goals to 3, putting some more points on the table and slowly creeping up a little bit further. And Tower Hamlets, West End, that was a game we touted last week as the big game, and it ended up with Tower Hamlets winning it by 2 goals to 0. Was it a great game, Rush?
It was a very good game to watch. Two sides of the story. Tower Hamlets, I think, grinded the result. Football, most of us played West End. They played a better football. They had an excellent opportunity, had a penalty, but unfortunately keeper saved. And there are numerous chances in the second half, especially in the first 20 minutes. They had 6-7 chances, which they couldn't convert. Hamlets then came back and scored a goal, and that was it. They put the game to bed, basically. But well, unlucky for West End. But Hamlets not playing the best football, but they are on top and they're grinding out results.
Getting the results, as we can see here, as we look at the tables. Indeed, Tower Hamlets are there at the top. They've lost the game more than the 2 teams below them, but they are getting what they need, and that's results. So they sit at the top on 27, Leytonstone, West End behind them on 26, 25 respectively, and St Catherine's, as I said, have moved up. They're creeping up, 22 points from 12 games, doing really, really well down there. And at the bottom, Lotus remain rooted to the bottom, 8-0, 51 goals conceded already this season. And I will just ask you there very quickly, Mo, 55 goals conceded this season, but like you said, you signed a couple of players now to help steady the ship at the back. So,
I mean, yeah.
Good things to look forward to.
No, definitely. I mean, 2 centre-backs right now, so I mean, hopefully we should be able to not concede as much goals as we just said here. But I mean, things are looking good. I think we're trying to improve our game and going back to the training ground again. We're going to try and fix some of those errors we're making. Sloppy goals here and there, but I mean, again, we're working on them, definitely.
Okay. We spoke about Iltown's next fixture, which was going to be up against Stepney B. Let's take a look at the rest of the fixtures to come for this Sunday in the First Division. And we can see that Bow take on West End now. That will be an interesting game, I think. Iltown, Stepney B. Lotus take on Bromley Juniors now. Bromley didn't have a game last week, but they'll be coming back to see if they can bounce back from what I think was 3 defeats in a row now, and they'll be looking to get some points against Lotus. SCTA move on to play Weavers. St Catherine's take on Burdett, and then another top 3 clash is Tower Hamlets v Leytonstone. More points to be taken out of everyone there. Final word to you in the last 10 seconds of this segment. Who's the best team you've faced so far in the division?
I mean, so far, I mean, SCTA are probably one of the tough teams, or arch rivals, if you want to call it. But I think SCTA are doing quite well. I mean, best luck to them. St Catherine is another team that we face. We're quite tough as well. So again, there are quite. I mean, there's a number of teams up above us. They're all brilliant teams. We're just trying to make a point to us. Yeah, match them all. Trying to get our game going.
Well, listen, Mo, thanks for coming in. It's been
thank
good
you very
to see
much.
you. Hope we can see you again sometime. Like, you know what? I think we will see you, because I think you'll be coming in. Someone from Iltown will be coming in to pick up a Goal of the Season award, I think, at the end of the season.
Let's hope so.
Okay. Stick around. We've still got more to come. We've got Premier Division, Vets League, and we've got some important news to give you in the final section of the show. So we'll be back right after this short break.
You are watching ILFL Soccer Nights.
Sponsored by Mashuru এবং Hawk and Eagle.